Well, you've seen them around town, some of those traffic ideas that have been built and put up to help slow down traffic, and I know you've seen them if you've watched Fox 2, because our own Elliot Davis has done a few investigations into them. Well, Valerie Champon from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch has been talking to some of the designers that work on these traffic ballers that we see around the St. Louis area, and she's joining us on Arts Pop this morning to tell us a little bit more about the process behind the scenes. Good morning.
Right. Hi, good morning, Angela. How are you?
Tell us a little bit about, I mean, like I said, we've kind of heard there are some people that love them. There are some people that think they may be a waste of money. What do the folks that create them say?
Right. Well, somebody told me about the guy who's sort of behind making these bollards, and he said, hey, he's a kind of an interesting guy. And so his name is Tony Roca. He's got a company called AKT Studios, and he works with his dad, Bob, and a couple other of guys in the studio, and it's in North City. And they have molded these traffic balls that you see around town. He also helped design these 11-sided bollards that are now new and in the Grove. So they make these big, giant concrete molds. And also they've been involved in other work in the city. They recently refurbished the Martin Luther King statue that was recently rededicated in Fountain Park. So I like the idea that he and his dad and the guys at his studio are kind of slowly transforming the landscape around the city. It's
not just for traffic purposes, it's really beautifying the city as a whole.
Exactly. I mean, he pointed out too that, you know, a couple of times some of the bollards were hit by vehicles, but he also pointed out, well, a pedestrian could have been hit. So it's also a safety thing as well. So, you know, and an aesthetic thing. You know, they're just kind of like interesting. People, somebody made a big crocheted hat for one of the balls, and like a snail, and, you know, people, they're just kind of something that people see. And these kind of geometrical ones are kind of interesting, and I like those better, actually. They look just a little bit different, and maybe we'll see more of those around town.
They become a little bit of public art as well. Well, for much more information than we can talk about here, make sure you pick up today's STL Life section of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. You're going to find Valerie's full article there, and you can get much more information on all the work these folks are doing around the city of St. Louis and the region. And let's also make sure we remind you, we're going to link you up to her article at stltoday.com from our website, fox2now.com, and you can always find Arts Pop wherever you go on the Fox 2 mobile apps. Valerie, thanks so much for joining us on Arts Pop.
Thanks for having me.